Ooh, chapter 2. Let's go. Alright, so let's get this out of the way. The animation, oh, is so much better than chapter 1. It's like chapter 1 was like 5 million bucks, and chapter 2 was like 20 million bucks. Okay. But like, okay. This is gonna be very hard to organize. I'm doing this with no script, so that's fun. But okay, so let's start with this. We start with my opinions on all of G5 overall as a whole at this specific moment. So the movie came out. I watched it. I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. I thought the first and the middle part was pretty good. The animation was tight and smooth. It was great. Everything. The ending sucked massively, and Pip and Zip. I didn't really. Zip was a character. I'm just like, okay, I don't really know her character like really, and Pip was just kind of like, okay, she's just kind of there. You know, and then chapter 1 and Tell Your Tale came out, and I'm just like, okay, I like how Zip is a detective kind of thing now. I like that. These are the feelings I had at during chapter 1 and the beginning of Tell Your Tale. And then, I was just like, okay, Detective Zip, that's cool. And I'm just like, cool, Alicorn villain, alright, that's fine. And then I'm just like, chapter 1 wasn't very good. I would say it's very bland, plain, and just it didn't really any time to like breathe besides just constant plot, and never like really any other stuff. Then you have Tell Your Tale. Ugh, I don't like Tell Your Tale, man. I'm suffering, man. I made a commitment to watch every single episode of Tell Your Tale, and oh, I hate it, man. Occasionally there'll be like a funny joke, and I'm just like, ha, ha, can't wait to spend another 5 episodes not laughing at a single joke. I did eventually get used to the animation and like the look of it, but oh my god, the freaking musical score, it has killed me inside. It is disgusting. I wouldn't say no. I want to say it's disgusting. It just gets really tiring hearing every week. It's just ugh. And then chapter 2 came out, and going into this, I felt worried. I'm like, okay, let's hope it's not like as boring or like bland or like as bad as like the chapter 1 was. You know, hopefully, hoping the animation is better. And I will say, chapter 2, I will say, is a lot better than chapter 1. It does a lot more stuff. You get to know the characters more, and there's a lot more good moments. I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? Freak nugget. Alright, first, let's start with the songs. The songs, after watching so many Tell Your Tale episodes, the YouTube series, and after like chapter 1, I was really worried about the songs. I thought the songs were just gonna be like, okay, let's hope that every song they make is not gonna be like, oh, generic pop song. Oh, another pop song. Maybe we'll occasionally throw in a nice guitar, maybe a trumpet, but nah, just some pop. And that was my biggest worry with the songs, is that it was all going to just mesh together into all just pop. And thank God, the songs were really good. The songs were really good this chapter. We had like a nice slow kind of like guitar kind of like song with the Queen Haven. Like that was very cool. Um Portrait Day song was amazing. We'll get to that later. We will. There was a dragon lullaby song in like the last episode. I thought that was really cool. Sadly, I couldn't find like a video of like like the full version of it, because I was able to listen to the full version of the other songs, and there was Where to Go. Oh, that one is the best one. That one is so good, and there's the first one, which was kind of forgettable, and I think that was also like kind of like pop, or just what I'm saying. That one was kind of forgettable. I don't really. I feel like I'm missing another one. But besides that, yeah, dude, the songs were so much better. Like, they had a nice variety and like a theme and everything. It was good, man. It was so good. Like, yes, yes. Thank you. So now, whenever a song comes up, I will be excited for it, hoping for another genuine bop. Now let's transition into the characters. Oh gosh. Okay. So let's start with Sunny, shall we? Sunny. Well, she's a character. Huh. Honestly, I cannot describe Sunny. Hitch. I think Hitch is cool. He's pretty chill. Well, I wouldn't say chill, but he's more like a rule giver kind of guy. Follow the book kind of guy. I do really like his kind of vibe. I don't really say vibe. I don't really say the word vibe. It feels weird to say. But Hitch is fine. He feels like like an original character. So does Sunny. Izzy, basically discount Pinkie Pie, but she still feels like she has her own original flair to her. And honestly, I think Izzy's my favorite so far. Zip, I think Zip is great. I think Zip right now is probably the best written character. Because to me, she feels like I feel like she has like the most depth. I feel like she's the most smart, and the detective thing kind of just like bumps her up a bit because like she actually developed as a character to get to that, which is pretty cool. Sparky, I like his personality. Like, he's kind of mischievous, and I like that. But I still do not like the way he looks. To me, he just looks ugly as frick. Like, get the frick out of here, man. Just stop it right now, please. And then we have Pip. Oh gosh. Now we're gonna transition into after we talk about Pip for a little bit, we're going to transition into two other things. So, okay, Pip. Pip is my least favorite character so far. And honestly, that was the way it was with Rarity for G4. Back when I was first going through G4, Rarity was my least favorite because she just felt like a character whose only trait was, oh, I'm fabulous, I like fashion, I hate the dirty stuff, get that out of here, And then over time, I warmed up to her, and, I honestly, really like Rarity now. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen with Pip, but right now, I actually despise Pip more than I despised Rarity back in the beginning of my watch of G4. And you want to know why? She is just so generic influencer. Like, it is so unbearable. Just shut up. I'm not an old person, but please shut up with the selfie, shut up with the ponygram, shut up with all of that. Please, actually be a character. Actually be a character that's more than just phone. Please. And those points where, see, the influencer part of her character works when it actually works and works towards being like a good part of the plot. It's not shoved in your face every 20 seconds, and it's used more for like a one-time kind of gag thing that shows up from time to time, not like, oh, this is going to be the focus for her character for the whole 22-minute episode. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Well, the way they're doing it, you just cannot do that. It comes off as so annoying. And there is stuff about Pip that I genuinely do like, because her singing thing, that's cool for a character, There are other parts of her character that occasionally show up. I'm just like, yeah, I like that, I like that. Now we'll do a quick little transition. Okay, well, it might not be a quick transition. It might be a pretty lengthy transition. But now let's talk about the G5 comics. So specifically issue 4, because that one focuses on Pip. Now, this is why I think the G5 comics are going to carry G5. Like, the comics are going to be the best part of G5, I think. Because, one, they have writers and some of the original team from the G4 comics over the G5 comics, so they're more experienced, and I hate to say it, but they're probably better than the G5 team. I'm sorry, you guys are great, but but they took Pip's side of being an influencer and meshed it together with an actual personality and Pip's own character. Like, it was actually really good. They took the influencer stuff and actually made a nice, heartwarming story out of it, where it didn't feel like, hey, technology, I'm an influencer, look at this, isn't this great? It felt like a nice, just a nice insert of it, not because they wanted... I want to say not because, like, they just really wanted to add technology into the story. It felt more like, hey, she has technology, let's use this in a nice, graceful, subtle kind of way. And it was great. Issue 4, I think, was really, really good. Because, they actually made Pip good. Like, like an actual character. And other reasons why I think the G5 comics will carry, so far I think they're doing a better job of, like, this. I mean, I don't know. I think over time it's going to carry a consistent quality throughout it, because issues 1 and 2 were pretty good, Issue 5 was pretty good, At this time, there's only 5 issues out. Issue 3 was actually, like, I think was actually kind of sucked. But issues 1 and 2, 3 and 5, issues 1, 2, 4, and 5, I think were good. They're consistently good, and I might be a little bit biased here, but I love me some Discord, so, like, And then, okay, now we transition into the Portrait Day episode. This episode is weighed down so much by Pip's influencer stuff. Like, this episode could have been, like, I think the best episode if it got rid of all the ponygram selfies and phone stuff. Because it just is so repetitive, where Pip's only thing throughout the whole entire episode is, oh, let me talk about my followers, isn't this great, And I'm just like, oh, no, it's not, please, But I think for episode 3, they do a good job of bringing Zip and Pip's relationship closer together, because I think they do a decent job of, like, setting up, the journey that their relationship will go on and eventually leads towards the argument. But I think the argument was a little bit shaky. The execution was a little bit shaky. But they brought it back. Once they got into the cave, like, and, like, they actually start talking it out and, like, do the hoof to heart things. That was good. Like, I think that was, like, I think the scene with Zip and Pip in the cave, I think that is the best part of the show so far. Because when they started singing that song, the Portrait Day song, I actually felt something. I felt emotion. Like, that was good, man. That was good. Now let's start talking about the rest of the show. Okay, so episodes 1 and 2. Mediocre, decent, fine. I don't really have anything to say about them. I already talked about episode 3. Episode 4, I don't remember what episode 4 was. Frick. Yeah, I just don't remember what episode 4 was. Episode 5 was okay. It was fine. It was alright. Episode 6. Okay, yeah, episode 6, 7, and 8. Let's talk about Misty and the Alicorn now. Yeah, let's do that. So Misty, I think Misty is great. I like Misty. You know, but she's only great when the writers want her to be great. Because there's this problem, you know, where whenever Misty is used, the writers love to just play that same, you know, gag of just like, when like somebody asks you something and you're just like, oh no, I have to lie, but let me lie in the most awkward way and most clear way that I'm lying possible. You know, take the evil version of Applejack, you know, the opposite of the element of honesty. Take that character and just put that into Misty, but that's Misty all the time with this kind little voice. Like, I just stop with that trait. Literally, the whole 22-minute episode was that single gag with Misty. Like, stop, you know? But when she's not that trait, and when the writers actually want her to be something more than just that trait, I think she's pretty great. I like her, I like Misty. Opalescence. No, that's the cat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the main villain, Opalescence, the cat. I don't know, man. But I forgot her name. Let's just call her Makeup Girl. Okay, so Makeup Girl. Why does she have makeup on? Why does she just have like eye glitter shadow on? Like, I think frankly that's just a weird character design choice. Like, honestly, I'm not liking how they designed her. She looks weird, and especially with that makeup. Like, why did they choose to do that? She just looks off. As for a character, she really is just like villain. She's just kind of just villain. And they didn't really do anything with the Misty and Alec Makeup Girl's relationship. It was kind of just like Makeup Girl be mean and command her to, help her with her things, because, Misty wants a cutie mark. So, and of course, Makeup Girl's gonna betray her at some point, and Misty's gonna be like, I should have never trusted you, I hate you, and she's gonna, run away crying. Their relationship has been done before many times, and it's not really anything special. I wish they would have done more with both Makeup Girl's character and her relationship with Misty. But so it's not like it's bad, it's functional, it's just not really anything special. And for all the returning G4 kind of like all that stuff kind of thingy, I'm fine with it. I know there are a lot of people who just hate that they're constantly like referring to like Equestria in the past and be like, oh, they should have just did something completely original for this, instead of just kind of see, this is where I stand. At the beginning, I thought it was pretty cool. I'm just like, okay. No, at the beginning of the movie, I thought that they were just going down that completely original route, but they left so many questions unanswered Then it's like, okay, could you like answer at least like few questions though? But at the time of the movie, I didn't really think that we would be going down this route, you know. But then Chapter 1 came out, and we realized that, okay, and the G5 comic issue 1 came out, and then we realized, okay, so they're going to answer every question, and they're going to connect G4 heavily. So I'm just like, okay, well, and people are just like, man, can we stop with this? And I'm just like, nah, we can't stop with this. We're too far gone. Like, we're literally just too far gone. There's no getting rid of the G4 stuff now. Like, honestly, I don't really have a problem with it. Would I prefer something completely original? Sure. But, like, I don't know. I still kind of like seeing the G4 stuff. Because I wasn't there throughout, like, all of G4's run. I wasn't there to, like, see all the new episodes, really, you know? So, I guess it kind of just appeals to that side where I just get to like feel like I'm experiencing some of G4 for the first time with other people. I think that's kind of cool. Frick, there was something else I was gonna say about G4. I guess we'll talk about Twilight's message. She sent a message. That was a message. Yeah. I do really like in episode 6. I think episode 6 was also like one of like the best episodes of this chapter. Not specifically because of Misty's one trade Andy thing, but they like did like kind of just kind of sneaked like the backstory for some reason. To kind of sneak that in there, that was kind of cool, and it lines up with what they said in the G5 comics. I'm glad that they took something from the G5 comics, put it in the show, and like they actually like told the audience that. I'll explain a little bit more in a little bit, but like, and the feel, the tone, and like the animation, like everything, that was good. That was good. That was pretty good. And the Misty came in just like, no, this is what actually happened, And that's pretty cool. I also got recommended this video where it was like, it said like, makeup girl, Twilight's apprentice, question mark. It was something like that. And I'm just like, wait a minute. It was made 3 months ago. So this is not a spoiler or anything. If you haven't seen the show yet. But like, I don't know why I just said that. If you haven't seen the show yet, you clicked on this video, you're this far gone into the video. I don't think you care about spoilers. But actually, that's a pretty good observation. What if Makeup Girl was Twilight's apprentice? Because it would make sense. Because then she would have the Haber Twilight Sparkle. She would have a reason, a motive to steal all the magic, and they're actually no, because in the comics, the Makeup Girl showed up, and she wasn't like Twilight's apprentice. She just kind of showed up. Yeah. Okay. No. She's not Twilight's apprentice. Debunked. But also, I like to point out that during when Sunny was telling the tale and everything, she was like, a unicorn hurt an earth pony, and that's when ponies started becoming racist. So I'm like, wait a minute. Surely unicorns have accidentally hurt earth ponies before. Why didn't it cause racism then? So I'm believing that this was a really important earth pony, and this was a really important unicorn that everybody knew. They fought. The unicorn really badly hurt the earth pony, and things went down. My best guess is that Rarity hurt Applejack, I guess, or Pinkie Pie. I don't know. It might be like main 6, like old main 6 kind of thing. But that was kind of interesting. I'd like to point that out. There was something else. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Yes. I think this will be my last point. Like, my last, like, kind of discussion thing. But, so, in one of the, like, I think, yes, episode 2, I saw that there were these 3 fillies that I recognized, and why I recognized them was that because they were introduced in the Tell Your Tale series. Now you may be thinking, okay, what's the problem with this? The problem is that they took the time to introduce those characters, and make them integral, like actually, like make them actual characters in the show and in the universe, in the YouTube series, and then they just kind of put them in the Netflix series and didn't bother to like actually introduce them or anything. They act like the audience should already know who they are, and that is not good. If they're going to continue down that path, then Tell Your Tale, there could be important lore, important story details that will only be in the Tell Your Tale series that they'll just expect you to know in the Make Your Mark series, and that's not good. That is really, really bad. And back to the Discord comic point earlier, um, they took the time to both introduce the concept of the Alicorn just kind of coming in and wanting to steal the magic in both the comic and the series. Because not everybody's going to read the comics, which I guess is why they did that. But everybody can watch the YouTube channel because it's free. But like, you can't force your audience to watch the YouTube series and the show. Like, that's not good. And it's just this weird split, especially with the release of Chapter 1. They had Maritime Bay Day in that chapter, and they had Maritime Bay Day 2.0 in the Tell Your Tale series, and they had Maritime Bay Day in the game that released with Chapter 1. Like, why is there such a split here? Why is there such a split? See, what the Tell Your Tale series needs to do is it needs to stop trying to fit 22-minute concepts into a 5-minute short, focus more on comedy, less on like actual story and lore, and like just focus on being a fun, nice little short thing to watch and just have fun with, instead of actually being an integral part to the Make Your Mark series. But besides that, I think the Make Your Mark series is doing a decent job right now. I think by the end of season 1, they will have gotten better at their writing. They would have, they would have a stable ground. And with season 2, I think season 2, they'll start to like gradually increase in quality. So by the point when we get to season 3, it's going to be freaking good. I think by season 3, if the show makes it to season 3, it's going to be quality, like actual quality. Because the G4 show, it didn't start with like real good quality. It was still, like, it wasn't the best in season 1, but it got better over time, got more interesting, more able to be invested in. Because season 1 was kind of just like, okay, this is cute, I like this, let me keep watching this, and they didn't really go into like more depth. And of course there's writing flaws and everything, but it got better. So I'm thinking that's what's going to happen with the Make Your Mark series. Holy gosh, I just spoke for like 30 minutes about My Little Pony Generation 5. Oh, that's got to be the longest time I've talked for a specific thing. And I didn't even pause to think that much. I like pause to think like twice. I'm gaming. I'm cracked.